Blood drawn Roxy for a heartworm test. I have Ginger, she's going to help me restrain. Right here I have some of my supplies. I have alcohol, tourniquet, heparin filled syringe, and I'm going to use a little bit of gauze to apply the alcohol today, okay? So Ginger's going to go ahead and restrain her real quick. I'm going to step on this side. I'm going to go ahead and spray a little bit of alcohol on the gauze so that way I can see the vein better. Okay, so I see the vein, so I'm going to use my fingers to help stabilize where I'm going to go. I'm going to let the alcohol dry before I go in. I'm going to go ahead and uncap the syringe. I'm going to make sure that the bevel is up. And now I'm going to go in for the vein, and as soon as I see a flash, I'm going to pull back slowly and draw the amount of sample that I need. Okay, I saw a flash. Okay, I got the amount of blood that I need for my sample. So I'm going to hold off, pull out the needle, and then Ginger's going to go ahead and apply a little bit of pressure. And I'm going to go ahead and put the cap on to the needle. Okay, thank y'all so much. Today we're going to do a buccal mucosal bleeding time test on Bonnie. She has already been sedated, and right now we are monitoring her breathing and her heart rate to make sure she's doing fine. So I have a lancet right here. Also have a bleeding time device blotting paper. Also have stretch gauze and just regular square gauze to help dry off her lip after I find where I'm going to put it. Okay, so we're going to use the stretch gauze to go ahead and keep her lip up. Okay, this is where I'm actually going to place the lancet. So I'm going to use a square gauze to go ahead and dry off the area. And just to understand where I'm going to go, I'm going to use the premolar as a landmark to tell me where I'm going to actually go. Okay, so I'm taking out the lancet. I'm removing this device. I'm going to go ahead and place this on her lip. Okay. Okay, we started the timer. And I'm going to use the blotting paper just to get some of the blood as soon as it starts. And once it stops bleeding, I'm going to record that as the time. An average time for a dog is 1 minute to 5 minutes. So we're approaching 1 minute and it's looking like it's not bleeding anymore. So I'm just going to make sure there's no more blood, and then we'll go and record that time. Okay, so it went ahead and stopped bleeding, and our time is 1 minute 15 seconds. Hey guys, so right now I'm gonna go ahead and do a manual blood differential. So just so you know, these are my supplies that I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna be using a little bit of blood. I'm gonna make sure it's well inverted, so make sure that it's mixed. I'm going to use a couple slides as well as some wood applicators to get the drop of blood the size that I need. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and uncap the blood sample. I'm going to go ahead and insert the 2 wooden applicator sticks. I'm going to go ahead and dip them in the blood. I'm going to use a clean slide that I've already prepared right here. Okay, I got that right there. Okay, I have a small drop of blood. Go ahead and dispose of the wooden tips. put my cap back on, put this, save it for later. Now I'm going to use another slide as a wedge. And the technique that's stated in the book is just to angle it at around 30 degrees, pull back, let the blood flare out, and then you push forward with a consistent speed and pressure, and it should give you a feathered edge that you're going to be looking at under the microscope, okay? Okay, so I have my feathered edge. I'm going to let that air dry right now, and then I'll stain it right now. Okay, you guys, so my blood smear went ahead and dried, so I'm going to go ahead and start dipping it. I have dip 1, 2, and 3. One of the most important things is that you do let your sample air dry before you try to dip it. So I'm going to use a clip. I'm going to put it on that side, then I'm going to dip it. I'm going to leave that in there for 30 seconds, and when I take it out, I'll rinse it off with distilled water. Then I'll go into dip 2, rinse it off, and then I'll put it in dip 3 and rinse it off, okay? I'm going to press pause on the video while I do that. Okay, it's been about 30 seconds, so I'm going to go ahead and open the dip 2 now. Okay, I'm going to go and take it out of dip 1. I'm going to place it over here. I'm going to go ahead and gently rinse it off with distilled water on the back side. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it 30 seconds into dip number 2, close 1. So I'm going to pause the video while I do that, okay? Okay guys, so it's been 30 seconds, so I'm going to go ahead and open dip number 3. Okay, got out of dip number 2. Now I'm going to gently rinse it off on the back. Make sure I got all of that off. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and place it in dip number 3, close number 2. Okay, I'm going to give it 30 seconds, so I'm going to pause the video while I do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, yeah, so it's been 30 seconds, so I'm going to take it out. I'm going to go ahead and rinse it with distilled water. Okay, now I'm gonna let it air. I'm gonna go dry it off with a bibulous paper, and I'll look it under the microscope. Okay, guys, so I went ahead and dried my blood smear, so I'm gonna go ahead and set it into our microscope. Sorry, it's kind of weird doing it with one hand. Okay, I'm setting that in the clip. I'm going to turn on the light. I'm gonna go ahead and scan the slide using the 100 magnification, the yellow one. I'm gonna go ahead and just scan, identify my monolayer, identify my feathered edge, and then I'm gonna find a spot that I really want to use. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the video while I do that. Okay, guys, so I went ahead and found my my monolayer where the cells are just side by side. It's right attached to the feathered edge. So I know that I want to go ahead and apply my immersion oil. I'm also going to switch to oil immersion lens. So I'm going to go ahead and get a drop of immersion oil, put it on the slide. Sorry. Okay. Now I'm going to put that lens in. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to press pause while I look at what I'm doing. I might record my cells. I'm going to count 100 cells, and then I'll tell you the results right now. Okay, guys, so I went ahead and I looked at the slide. I went ahead and counted my cells. I counted 100 cells, and the numbers that I got were, I got 85 neutrophils, have 10 lymphocytes, 3 monocytes, and 2 eosinophils. I also did my platelet count. I looked at 10 different fields of view under high magnification with oil. I found the lowest amount was 10, and then the highest amount I got was 17. So I counted that 10 times, and I got like a range. Sometimes I got 10, sometimes I got 15, and then in between, 10, I got 15 a couple times, but 10, 12, 15. then I got 17 as the highest, and then a couple other times on that. The only thing left to do is cell morphology. So give me a second, I'm going to look at the microscope one more time, and I'll be back with that. Hey guys, so I'm at our chemistry station. These are our catalysts. We have two, and this is our ProCyte machine. This is where we have the blood rocking. So I'm running a sample on Goliath. Goliath is a cat. So we already put it into the system right here, if you see. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set up the catalyst one to go ahead and run the blood chemistry. So if you look in the machine, it's been running another sample. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and stock it up with pipette tips. We get one more in there. Okay, now so I already collected the whole blood from Goliath, and I put it in the lithium heparin whole blood separator. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that right there where it goes. Remove the little green lid. I'm gonna go ahead and open my Kim10 clip. I'm gonna go ahead and put that right there. So I'm just gonna put the phone down for a little bit. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. I took the clip out of the bag, and now I'm gonna place it into the catalyst one. Okay, so I have that set, so I'm gonna push that in, and we're also running a CBC, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get that ready, even though that's not part of the assignment. I'm gonna press pause while I get that ready. I'm just gonna rock it a few times and put it in there so that way the blood's well mixed. Okay, you guys, I'm back. So now I'm gonna go to the screen. I'm gonna select Goliath. I'm gonna click Run. We're using Catalyst 1, so I'm selecting Catalyst 1. I'm also doing the ProCyte. I'm gonna click Run. I'm gonna click OK. I'm pressing the start button on both machines. Okay, and then this display is gonna show us. It sometimes gives you a little time estimate. So right now it's still getting started. So in a couple more seconds, it'll tell me how much longer I have. Usually it's about 8 minutes. So I'm gonna pause the video and I'll be back whenever we get the results. I'll just quickly show you the results. Okay? Thank you. Okay, you guys. So it's been 8 minutes. So I'm gonna click on the display, and then I need Goliath's results. So I'm gonna go click print, and then right underneath here is our printer, and that's where we're gonna print our results. Okay, that's how you run a blood chemistry. Hey guys, so today I'm gonna go ahead and run a heartworm test. I'm gonna run it on Roxy. So I got a heartworm test. I'm going to take it out. Okay, I'm gonna mix the conjugate with the blood sample that I have. So since the conjugate is blue, I'm gonna use four drops. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Put the top back on. And now since the blood is red, I'm gonna go ahead and add 3 drops. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go ahead and save that 1 drop of blood left so that way I can do the direct smear. Okay, I'm gonna mix it up real good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put it in, let it drop into the test. Okay, now you can see that it's the blood is coming this way. So at my job we actually use pro snap tests. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go put it into snap test so that way I can do something else, and I'll be back in about 8 to 10 minutes and I'll go show you how that looks. So this is Roxy's, just to remind you. So I'm gonna go to the Pro Snap reader. I'm gonna select Roxy. Okay, now it's telling me to go ahead and insert the test in. And what it'll do is it'll actually snap the test for me when it's ready. Okay, it's reading it. Okay, and when it's ready, it'll go ahead and snap it, and I'll be back and show you those results later. Okay, you guys, it's been approximately 10 minutes, so I got Roxy's results right now. Just want to show you the Pro Reader says that Roxy is negative. Okay, thank you. That's how you do an Elisa heartworm test. Hey guys, so today I'm gonna show you how to do a PCV. I just want to go over some of the supplies real quick. We're gonna use microhematocrit red tip tubes. That means that there's heparin in them, so that way it doesn't clot. I'm gonna use some blood, and to spin them down in the centrifuge, I'm gonna use these crit carrier, so that way it holds it inside the machine. Then after they get spun down, I'm gonna use our easy reader to determine the PCV. And I'll show you how to use that later in the video, okay? So you wanna make sure you invert your tube a couple times to make sure the blood's well mixed. Sometimes some people like to fill up 2 at a time, but I notice I kinda don't like that. So I'm just gonna do 1 at a time, and I'm gonna try to get them at the same values. Same amount of blood in each one. So notice there is a little red dot, a red line right there that just says that there is heparin in it. And then I'm gonna fill this up right now. The book says fill it up to 3/4, so that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I got my blood in there. It's about 3/4. I'm gonna stick it in the Critocil, which is our clay stopper that we have. I'm gonna go ahead and stick that in there. Okay, so I have that. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill up another one, and I'm going to try to get it to the same measurement. Okay, so I got this. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the clay stopper. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and top the blood, so that way we can use that again. Put that to the side. Okay, now I have my 2 tubes. I'm gonna go ahead and put them into the crit carriers. I'm gonna put one in the yellow and one in the blue, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the centrifuge to spin. Okay, you guys, so we're gonna go ahead and go spin this down to get our PCV as well as our total protein. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk to our centrifuge station. It's over here in treatment. Was in the pharmacy. So I just want to clarify how the parameters that we're gonna use to spin it. So the crit carrier states that we're gonna do 5,000 RPMs for 8 minutes, okay? So I'm here at the centrifuge station. I'm gonna go ahead and update that information. Okay, I have that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put them across from each other. I'm gonna go ahead and press pause while I load it, and I'll show you how I have this set up soon, okay? Okay, so I got them in here. Notice how I got them set across from each other, so that way it's balanced. Go ahead and confirm the parameters that I'm using. I'm gonna go ahead and close it. Okay, it's spinning, and I'll be back in 8 minutes to do that PCV as well as that total protein. Hey guys, so I went ahead and spun down the whole blood, and I got that. Notice there's 3 layers, the plasma, the puffy coated, and then the packed red cells. So I'm going to use this easy reader, and the way you use it is you line up the, right where the clay and the packed red cells meet, you line it up at the 0, and then where the plasma, you line it up at the 100. Then you kind of slide it over until you get it, and then you measure right here where the buffy coat meets the red packed cells, and then that gives you the PCV, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting a PCV of 48. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and record that. And then just so that way you get an estimated red blood cell count, you're gonna divide that by 6. So 48 divided by 6, and that gives me 8. Okay, so you can write that down for if you were doing the manual differential sheet. Now I'm going to do the next part and find my total protein. So I'm going to use a tool called the refractometer. I'm going to break the tube right a little bit above the buffecal, mostly plasma, and I'm going to kind of just agitate the tube a little bit to get some of the plasma onto this, and then I'm going to look at it and determine what the total protein is, okay? Okay, I have that. Okay, have enough there. Let me put that in the trash. Now I'm gonna look at it to artificial light, and I am getting I'm getting 7.6 as my total protein. Okay, so I'll record that. Okay, and that's how you do a PCV and get a total protein. Hey guys, so today I'm gonna show you how to clean your refractometer. So I read my user manual, and this particular model, you do use alcohol to clean it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you how to clean that. So some of your supplies you're gonna need is lint-free lens tissues, some alcohol, and then also I'm gonna show you how to calibrate it, which you should do regularly, either daily or once a week, depending on how often you use it. So you just open it up like that, and you spray it with alcohol. Thank you. And then you just wipe the lens and the cover. Then you close it, and then you place it in the case. And after every use, you should always wipe the lens clean, because sometimes you'll use it with urine or blood. So you just want to keep it clean. And then just to show that it's been clean, I'm just verifying that there's no values in it, just to know that it is set at 0. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you how you would calibrate it, which in our book, it says you should do it regularly, every day or weekly, depending on how busy your practice is. So this is distilled water. So you would just rinse that, rinse the cover, do that one more time. Kind of got a lot of tissue, lens paper. And then you just wipe that and wipe that. And when it's calibrated, you want to make sure that the specific gravity is at 1. That tells you that it is calibrated. Okay, you never want to use a non-calibrated refractometer. Sorry, and I'm getting it at 1, so I will just wipe it down. Use some clean ones. Just wipe it down, and I would put it in its case, and it's ready to use whenever you need to use it. Okay, thank you.
I'm Dr. Rachel Red. I graduated from Colorado State University in 2010, and I've been working as a mixed animal, but now mostly small animal veterinarian. I am dedicated to being Alberto's preceptor because I think he's an amazing young man with a lot of potential. I think that he has shown great improvement since starting the class earlier in the semester. I think that's about it.